So I decided this second video for today, I'm going to do something a little different. Now this is for those who are new to the channel, but if you're returning or have been here for a while, like, you can still watch, of course, but this is mostly catered to all the new people who either just recently subscribed or haven't subscribed yet and are curious about what I really do on this channel and everything. So, to all the new people, Atreus here and I say hi, don't we, buddy? Say hi to all the new people and the returning people. Say hi. He gets a little shy around the camera, don't you, buddy? You get a little shy around the camera, don't you? Yeah. Not shy around me though, cause of course, is he my cat? He is boy. He's a really good boy too, aren't you, buddy? But yeah, this isn't just my YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel, isn't that right, bud? Yeah, he's a YouTube cat too. He has the mentality of, hey, if you can do this, I can do it too. only when it comes to me though. Everybody else, no. But when it comes to me, he'll grab, I'll have a can of G Fuel like I have right now, which is berry bomb flavor. I've still got a Wumpa fruit in the fridge. I haven't tapped yet. It took me a few days to get to this one. But, yeah, I've got more, and I've also got a soda right here as well. For those wondering what I drink whenever I record or stream on the stream channel, which I also have, by the way, it's either a soda or a G Fuel. But I mostly use the G Fuel when I want. Let me rephrase that with proper wording. I usually drink a can of G Fuel whenever I'm playing a Toho game, which, coincidentally, I have right here with me. Yes, I, of course, planned on sharing this. I plan on talking about a lot of stuff in this video. But yes, I usually drink a G Fuel when I play one of these games or one of the PC98 games. Because I figure it helps me. G Fuel is supposed to, something like G Fuel is supposed to help you focus, reaction times, and endurance. Okay, so G Fuel, if you read the stuff right here, it says energy, focus, endurance, and reaction. Something that is actually quite useful for these games, in fact. So it's actually the perfect drink for me when it comes to a Toho game, especially when it comes to focus and reaction times. You definitely need that, otherwise you're gonna die. As shown in my Mountain of Faith 1cc, I was actually drinking a G Fuel that day. So, yeah, it actually does help me with this. But yeah, for those who are wondering what I usually drink when I record or stream, it's usually G Fuel if I'm playing Toho, or a soda, which is my usual go-to. But yeah, it's actually these are what keep me going throughout the day. G Fuel especially. It's what helps me It's what helps motivate me to record, gives me the energy I need for those videos, editing whenever needed as well. But yeah, honestly, yes, it's not they aren't the healthiest things I could drink when I'm recording, but they're cheap, because a soda this size at Circle K, which for those who don't know is a gas station, is $1.05 for one of these. And a can of G Fuel at Dollar Tree is $1.31. So it's like, yeah, they're cheap. Because I'm not paying like, who would pay like $2.53 for like a little like thing of milk or juice or something, like, which are healthier, yes, and I would personally recommend but sometimes the stuff can be a little pricey, and again, stuff like this cheaper, and especially when it comes to like a certain game or certain like activity or whatever, a G Fuel usually will help. But yeah, and I hope to actually be sponsored by G Fuel one day, because honestly I would like my own G Fuel flavor. As to what the flavor would be, something cinnamon related, for obvious reasons, because the channel name is derivative from cinnamon. So yeah, little fact for you newcomers, or those who didn't know. In fact, this is actually what's motivated me to make this video. Like, I've been wanting to do a video like this for a really long time. I just never got around to doing it because of all this other stuff, Toho especially, and Guilty Gear as well on top of that, which I have also been playing. I have a lot of footage saved, believe it or not just from the phone I'm recording from right now, and have been for a while, because my headset I use to like record for my PS4 itself, my headset just doesn't work at all. Like, the microphone part itself does not work. Both earmuffs do not work either. Like, the whole thing is just does not work. So, whenever I record, I usually do commentary in a video. Sometimes I don't, but 99 times out of 100, I will do commentary. So, and I like to prefer to not do commentary after I record the footage, because then that would mean I would have to have the footage, save it if I needed to, and then before I upload, I would have to then go into a video editor, do the commentary afterwards, and I feel like that just kind of takes away from the experience, because live commentary, which I normally do, especially when it comes to like my Toho games, because you never know what can happen. Like, it just feels better to do. Like, I'm not complaining about the X work. Again, I have a video that's like almost 10 hours on this channel, which again was a compilation of every video I've done for Toho 3. And and that was my video for yesterday, a compilation of my journey to 1cc Mountain of Faith, which pretty much was every video I made on Mountain of Faith as of right now, in the making of that video. Which is, in that video, its own took almost an entire day to work on. Because I had to save the videos, edit them together as I went on. So, yeah, it was kind of a hard video. Those videos take a long time, take a while to make, let me tell you. And if I edit, I do it on mobile, so that's why it takes even longer. Which is why you saw only 2 videos in the past 2 days. That being one of them, because it takes so long to make just one of those that length. So, yeah. But yeah, that's and if you, now we go on to the stuff I really do want to talk about. What I do on this channel and why I do what I do. Almost 10 years ago when I first started this channel, I was 16 years old. I was 16 years old when I first started this channel. I originally wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber, believe it or not. I actually wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. Which, if you go all the way back from to almost 10 years ago, I had a lot of Minecraft videos from back then. Because, again, I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber. But then Minecraft kind of died out for a few years. And, the reputation most Minecraft YouTubers these days have. It's a good thing I didn't become a Minecraft YouTuber at that point. So, because of those reasons, I was kind of like, well, what do I do for this channel? I'm a teenager who has no idea what to make videos on. What do I want to accomplish? And for several years, I had zero idea what I wanted to do. I just kind of did a bunch of random stuff over the years until around 2 years ago almost. I got to thinking, I've actually grown to be a bigger fan of the retro gaming scene. And so I kind of joined the retro gaming community. Felt welcome. Even more welcome than I am in the Toho community. Because, I have videos on the Toho community as well. Go check them out. But, yeah. The retro gaming community, it's much more welcome than the Toho community. Let me tell you that. If you don't support a ship in the Toho community, you're immediately marked as homophobic just because you don't like a certain ship in the Toho community. But if you don't like a certain game or console in the retro gaming community, almost all the time, it's understandable. For example, I personally really enjoy the PS2 version of Sonic Heroes. In fact, I actually did a video on this again after several months of not playing this game. This exact copy of Sonic Heroes, which, yeah, not still in the PlayStation 2 that I bought back in January. I spent my own money on that PlayStation 2. My sister bought me this for my birthday to go with my PlayStation 2. Otherwise, the only game I really had I could play on my PlayStation 2, I also got a memory card, of course, to go with the game so I can save my game data. The only game I had, if I didn't get this, would have been this. So, which I've also done a playthrough on. I also did play through on the sequel too, which I also have. But yeah, I usually like I'm a bigger fan of like the retro stuff like PlayStation 2, Nintendo 64, NES, PS3 and 360 technically count now, since the PlayStation, not the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 is going to be 20 years old next year. Came out in 2005. It's going to be 20 years old next year. That is fucking insane. Okay? And on top of that, hold on. On top of that, also got a Game Boy Advance with Pokemon Yellow, authentic cartridge, by the way. We also have an authentic Pokemon Gold cartridge as well, and a Nintendo DS, in which it still works. Like the thing itself still works. The hinge is broken because I'm a fucking idiot. The day I got my PlayStation 2 was the day I dropped my DS, fell out of my pocket, and the hinge broke. But again, the game, console, the system itself, it still works great. Works phenomenally. In fact, I've got some games in here still as well. Like Pokemon Black, which I still gotta continue as well. Puyo 15th anniversary, because of course I had to get a Puyo game for the DS. I also gotta play more Puyo on this channel. Like I enjoy. I'm not amazing at Puyo, but I'm not bad. Like I'm competent enough. Just like how I am at Toho. I'm not great. I'm just competent enough to know what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the retro stuff myself. But that doesn't exactly mean I hate the newer stuff. I obviously play the newer stuff too. Again, Guilty Gear Strive is something I've been playing a lot the past week. Again, I've got a lot of footage saved for this game. Let me know if you want to see it. But yeah, I've got Guilty Gear Strive, Once Justice 2, fucking CTR, stuff like that. I got a bunch of newer games too. Meaning I don't hate the newer stuff, I just prefer the older stuff. Because when it comes to the older stuff, like, yes, there's some older games from the older generations I grew up with, like Sonic Heroes. I grew up with this game. The PS2 version, in fact, which is why I got the PS2 version in the first place. It's mostly the nostalgia factor, but also it was cheap. It was $12 when I got it at a retro game store that I personally know the owner of. By the way, it was $12. The nostalgia factor is there, and I needed a game for my PS2 other than my copy of Sergeant Heroes. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I made a video on this. While it doesn't work, this is a game I grew up with. It's still phenomenal to this day. Still an amazing game. So of course I had to get it. In fact, I was looking for a copy of San Andreas since before I got my PS2. These games I had. I had the GameCube version of Riders and the Wii version of Zero Gravity back several years ago. I had these games on the Wii and GameCube, but I got rid of those versions of the game to get Toho 15.5 on my PS4, which I still do play to this day, by the way. Not as often, I still do play from time to time. And since I had a PS2, these games are like 15, 16 bucks each, so they were also cheap. I figured, you know what? I miss these games. I really enjoyed them. The original Riders over Zero Gravity. Like, while I don't hate Zero Gravity, it's my least favorite of the 3 Riders games. This is obviously my favorite. Yes, you heard that right. I like Sonic Free Riders, which I do have a copy of. The disc is ruined to shit, but I do have Riders, and I did enjoy it much more than I enjoyed Zero Gravity. But that's not to say Zero Gravity is a bad game. It's still great. Just not my favorite of the 3. Riders is. Sonic Mega Collection Plus. I'm a Sonic fan. I've mentioned in the past that it's because of these older Sega Genesis Sonic games. I was able to play like the Riders games, Sonic Generations, Sonic Heroes. These Mega Collection games, this Sega Genesis Sonic games and such, I grew up with, and it's all because of my mom. Good. Okay, little story for those who are curious. My mom had a Sega Genesis when she was a kid. She was like a teenager when she got her Sega Genesis, right? And then years later, like 2004, 2005, her children got that exact same Sega Genesis she had when she was a teenager. And a lot of the games I personally played were the Sonic games. Sonic 1 in particular. Sonic 1 is still my favorite classic Sonic game. For the Genesis, at least. The Genesis. My actual favorite classic Sonic game is actually the 8-bit version of Sonic 2. Yes, I love the Game Gear and Master System versions of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 over the Genesis versions. So think of that as you will. I just think they're more enjoyable. Like, the level design's so much different. Like, yeah, the graphics and the sound aren't as great, but they have that level of difficulty that ranges from really difficult bullshit to, you know what? Yeah, this is my fault. It's fair difficulty. Whereas the difficulty in the Genesis Sonic games, it just ranges from, why am I playing this? This is too easy to, what the fuck, man? Difficult. So, yeah. I got this so I could play these with my mom. Because, again, the only reason I was able to get into the Sonic game franchise in the first place was because of my mom. And because my mom grew up with these Genesis Sonic games as well, I figured, you know what? I got this copy for $10. It was completely refurbished, complete in box, by the way. $10 on eBay. I made a video on this as well. Like, all the games I'm showing off, I made videos on. Even my Toho games, I've made videos on, obviously. And I'm still planning on making videos on. Because I'm still not done with Violet Detector. And I'm still not done with Toho 9. I'm not done with Toho 10 either. I'm still going to upload videos on that as well, even after my 1cc. But, yeah. I often say I hate the classic Sonic games, which is true, but at the same time, it's a lie. Like, compared to the modern games, especially now that I'm much older, and not blinded by nostalgia, because, I mean, which you may think is contradictory to what I say about Sonic Heroes. Like, yeah, I still have my problems with, even though I grew up with Sonic Heroes as well as when I was a kid, as an adult, I realized the issues this game has. Not just the PlayStation 2 version of the game, but every version of the game. I'm aware of the issues and the problems it has. I still fucking love the game. But when it comes to the Genesis Sonic games, they aren't that great. They really aren't that great. The classic Sonic games aren't very good. Unless, you play the 8-bit versions. But which actually do have some in this version of the game as unlockable games. But I say I hate them, and I do, but at the same time, I love the Genesis Sonic games because, again, if it wasn't for these Genesis Sonic games, you wouldn't be seeing any of my Sonic game videos on this channel at all. So, they're not that great by today's standards, but at the same time, I do love them because they did help shape me into the Sonic fan I am today. I hate the classic Sonic games, but I love them. Now, Resident Evil 4, my introduction to the Resident Evil franchise, the PlayStation 2 version, by the way, which is why I have it, and of course, I've mentioned in my past, and my playthrough, which I'm also still doing, by the way, on this channel. I have it on my PS4 as well, and the reason, my disc doesn't, it freezes at a certain point on my physical disc, so if I wanted to continue my playthrough on the game, I had to get it on my PS4, and honestly, I am quite glad I did. While, yes, I can record the footage from my PS4, I started recording my playthrough via my phone. So I figured, you know what? To keep the playthrough as authentic to the PlayStation 2 version as possible, I'm still going to keep doing it on my phone, even though I can record through console. Because then that would mean I would have to do all the issues I've mentioned earlier in the video when it comes to the editing and the commentary. Which, yeah. Which also brings me to another thing. Yes, I am aware that the quality of my videos isn't exactly that great. But again, what I've been wanting to do with this channel, and I have been doing for a couple of years almost at this point, was to quote James Rolfe here, take you back to the past. To show off, what things used to be like in the old days of YouTube, or when you were a kid, recording from, a CRT, which I have, by the way, and do use. Here, let me show you real quick. Yeah, see, got my CRT TV, which is actually what I did use to record my Sonic Heroes video earlier. Hi. And there's my PS2. So if you see me like record a video like this, it's to authenticate that old, it's to give off that old record video style that used to be around in the old YouTube days, as well as, recording this way whenever I do something like PS4, 360, or PlayStation 3. So yeah, but yeah, if you're wondering why or you say my video quality isn't amazing, it's to give off that older video style from back in the early days of YouTube, or before YouTube was created, and you would record from like an old camera or something. It's to give off that vibe. So, and that's kind of what I've been trying to like replicate, because while yes, videos like that aren't amazing, my videos aren't that amazing in general, but especially those kinds of videos. But at the same time, making a video like that has its own charm that you can't really get from like a capture card or something like that, which a lot of people prefer. Me personally, I'm in the belief that you gotta work with what you got, and just because something looks bad doesn't mean it is bad and you shouldn't do it. Again, like, graphically, take the Pokemon games for example, since I've got them. Graphically, Scarlet and Violet are better than the Generation 1 Pokemon games, but that doesn't mean the Generation 1 Pokemon games are bad, because yes, they're old and they have not aged best and they do have their problems, but again, they still have that charm that, it's nice to go back to quite often, or every so often. So that's the kind of vibe I've been wanting to replicate with this channel. And trust me, I have gotten hate comments or comments saying that, oh, your video quality isn't great. I'm aware of that. And you know what? While you are right, doing a video like that is my choice. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's because of all of you I'm able to upload day by day. You watch it, I just make the videos and all that. By myself, by the way. I do have some company every so often, especially when it comes to the VR chat videos. I do have friends I play with as well and that, but most of the time it's usually just me, like a controller, my console, my games, and sometimes my phone, depending on what I feel like recording. So technically, at the end of the day, it's my choice on how I record and all that. And if you don't like a video like that, that's okay. Nobody's forcing you to watch my videos. It's, you watch what you watch, I watch what I watch, and how I upload, it's whatever. Like, but that's just how I want to record, especially when it comes to my older stuff like my PlayStation 2. That's how I want to record, to give off that vibe of how things were recorded and played when YouTube was started back in 2005 to like 2010 or so. And when you grew up with a kid before, as a kid before YouTube, all that. Because it's got its own charm. Because at the end of the day, I am a 25-year-old who grew up with a lot of this older stuff. And age can only go up. We can only get older. And to feel younger, well, sometimes older, especially when it comes to a game, to like a certain game we play as kid, like, we feel even older. But that's where the charm lies. Like, you also can't please everybody. Yeah, I do admit my videos, especially when it comes to quality, aren't the best. But sometimes charm does equal quality. But so it's like, you can watch them if you want. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to. At the end of the day, it's up to you to watch what you want to watch. But also at the end of the day, I do make the videos, so I do decide on how I want to record, what I want to record. But I do like to know what you guys like to see, so I can hopefully provide that for you. Shit, if you wanted to see, like, a playthrough on Pokemon Yellow again, you can let me know. I'll get right on that. Like, fuck, I'll record from the Game Boy Advance itself. Like, yeah, the video quality won't be great, but again, there's still charm to it. So it's like, it's up to you. It's up to me to record things what I want, how I want. At the same time, it's up to you to watch what you want to watch. You can't please everybody. And yeah, I'm also a big fan of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh myself as well. So I'll be making, like, I'll make like a Yu-Gi-Oh video every so often. Sometimes I'll talk about, like, show off and talk about my cards as well. Like, right here, I've got my Live Twin Shadow deck completely sleeved. And with a deck box. Which is, something I've also gotten hate for in the past. People saying, I got hate comments from a certain certain video about the Toho fandom and how terrible it is. Saying that these are Pokemon cards, not Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Which just comes to show that how much of the video they actually watched. Because there was a point in the video where I do pull out my cards themselves. I do open the deck boxes, pull out the cards to show that they are Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So that just comes to show that how much of the video people watched. It was my Toho World Cup video, in fact. Now that I remember it. Saying how I thought Toho World Cup was dumb. It didn't appeal to me personally, so I talked about it. People don't, and especially when it comes to the Toho fandom, if I say something negative about Toho or the fandom, people will come at me like, no, you're not allowed to say that, and send hate my way, which is, something I do tend to get a lot. And while not all publicity is good publicity, they are dumb enough to give me that traction. So at the end of the day, while I do something serious on a video like that, say something that's on my mind, talk about it, and people will hate me for it. At the end of the day, the joke is on them because I'm laughing at them and how dumb they really are. And normally I don't like to say something like this because I like to stick to the positive side of things, but at the same time, if you're gonna say something stupid or do some dumb shit, I'm gonna call you out and laugh at you for it, right? People have done the same to me as well, which is perfectly fine as long as you don't harass anybody over it, which is something I have gone through. Hi, buddy. This is my buddy. Were you eating again? You eating? You're gonna get fat, mister. Which is honestly a good thing, because you eat. Oh, you smell. Woo! Got hair in my mouth as well. But I have gotten hate and harassment over every so often. Just because I said something someone didn't like. Again, you're not going to please everybody. And if it offends them, then it's their fault. They didn't have to watch the video or anything like that. It's on them. At the end of the day, they're at the butt of the joke. I do laugh at my own expense sometimes. Like whenever get record like a video and get really mad, I'll think about it later on and laugh at it because at the end of the day, it is pretty funny, right? So, yeah, I just kind of, I record what I want, how I want, I understand I can't please everybody. As long as one person watches a video of mine, that's all I really care about. Like, I'm not one of the YouTubers like Review Tech USA who's like, oh, I want your money. I personally don't care about the monetization. Like, I hate people who do this for monetization because at that point, you're not really doing it for the fun of it, which you should also do. Which is also another reason why I do what I do. I do it for the fun of it, not for the money. And while I do agree that, yes, to be fair, the money would be nice, it's not really what I personally care for. Like, what I care for is I entertain at least one person who watches my stuff. That's all that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, a laugh or someone being entertained, enjoying their day, is more valuable than a $1 bill could ever be. Because you can make money throughout your entire life, but you only get one chance to enjoy life however you want to enjoy. So, me personally, if you ever see me talk about something, a YouTuber or whoever, only caring really about money, I personally do not respect a person like that. I can't. Because you should really do YouTube because you enjoy it. If you really care about money that much, go fill out a job application somewhere or something. And while, yes, I do, whenever I do like a video on a new game I get, I do mention a price that is paid for it. But that's to show how cheap you can find a copy of it. Like, I've mentioned it ever since, since I got my DS. Since my sister bought me my DS last year. Which was actually my first video I ever did on that subject. in that series. I mentioned the price it was paid for, where it came from, and all that. And I do that every video where I get a new game. Because yes, I do spend a good amount of money on these games but it's to entertain you guys. It's to entertain all of you at the end of the day. So, which is also something I have gotten hate over, saying that, ooh, you're just showing off your wealth. It's not about that. It's to help people who want to play like a game they never played before, or want to relive their childhood, something, if they can't find a copy in like a game store or anything like that hasn't been released on modern consoles. It's to show what they can get that game for as cheap as possible. So my videos in that series is to not only show off what the game is like or my experiences with the game, but also where you can find, but also how cheap you can find them, if you can find them cheap. So it's kind of, so, and I do make those kinds of videos at least once a month, pretty much. Yes, so I do it quite often, but at the same time, it's also a different kind of video I make, so it's also really fun for me to do. But to be fair, I can understand where people are coming from with that argument, but that's not what I do that for. But yeah, it's crazy how often I do a video like that. Shit. My Spirit Charmers deck right here. I spent almost 2 weeks working on that video when I made it. It was over 2 hours long, by the way, so it is a long video. But it did take me, it did cost like $37 for this deck, and it's still not complete. I'm missing one card in this deck, and then it will be complete. But yes, this deck was not cheap. I mean, it was actually my cheapest out of the 3 decks I have. Because I have my Live Twin Shadow deck, my Trap Tricks deck, and my Spirit Charmers deck. This was my cheapest out of the 3. My Live Twin Shadow deck, I spent almost 2 years working on before I finished it. And it was fucking expensive to make. Card for card, by the way. And again, it wasn't to show off money, how much money I had or what made or whatever. It was to do that. It was just because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoy making a video like that because it's fun for me. And also because, you know, I use these decks in Master Duel. And you will be seeing some more Master Duel videos soon enough because Duelist Cup is going on. So, yeah, you are going to be seeing some Master Duel videos here soon again. But, yeah. It's not to, a video like that is not to show off how much money I make. I'm not Logan Paul or Mr. Beast. I don't care about that. I make those kinds of videos to show off what I'm into and what other people might be into, and to show, hey, you could get this for this price or whatever. So if you want to get it, especially when it comes to physical media that hasn't been re-released, shit, you could get it cheap, most likely. That's why I do those kinds of videos. Not because money, but I don't care about that. It's because I enjoy them. And as long as you enjoy watching the videos and I enjoy making those videos, that's what should matter. Not how much money I make from the videos. I don't care about that. Because, again, you only live once. So, if you only really care about money all the time, which, to be fair, yes, is important, money can't buy happiness. Technically, it can, because making these kinds of videos where I buy like a new game, show it off, and make however many videos on that game, but throughout, does bring happiness. We really can't just, like, it might be, we have this only one chance to do so. So it's like, gotta enjoy things however you can, while you can. And I know I'm probably going to get hate for saying something like that. Which, again, can't please everybody, but at the same time, please don't make yourself look like an idiot or disrespectful, because if you're going to do that, again, I don't like saying something like this. Usually I like to be on the positive side of things, but sometimes you gotta do it. You don't belong anywhere around this channel, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to help people enjoy things that they probably didn't when they were a kid, and that I couldn't enjoy as a kid because I myself was a victim of child abuse, and I didn't have much growing up as a kid. So it's like, the fact that I'm able to enjoy all of this now, and then I'm able to share it all with you, that's what I personally care about. Not the money or sympathy or pity, none of that. I want to enjoy things I like with all of you. That's all I care about. And if at least one person watches my video of mine, I technically did succeed. Even if it is to hate watch or something like that. Because, again, you live once. So, you could spend your time doing whatever, and I could spend my time doing whatever. But I decided to spend my time making these videos, and you spend your time to watch my videos. That, to me, is literally worth a lot more than any amount of money could ever be. And honestly, I thank you for taking your precious time that you will never get back to watch my videos. And honestly, it's what keeps me going. Because, again, there have been times where I've thought I've been thinking about stopping making videos, but then I'm like, no, I can't do that. Which, again, is something I have been going through with Guilty Gear the past few days. Like, yeah, I've been getting my ass kicked, and, you know, not really having fun online because people fucking no-lifing the game, and while I'm new. which is also something I hate, by the way. I do talk about stuff like that quite often. Like, my spirits get destroyed, but you know what? I'm still playing the game. I'm getting better, and I'm still having fun with it. So, that's what I care about. Stuff like that makes me keep going. Despite all my troubles. Because it's those troubles that make you want to strive. No pun intended, by the way. It's those issues that make you want to strive to improve, get better, and enjoy things. That's what my videos are made to do. So while yes, they don't always look the best when it comes to quality, but it's how I decide to make the videos. People watch them and people enjoy them. That's what matters. Because again, think of the countless videos from like old YouTube that do not look very good at all. They look all grainy, there's all blurry, stuff like that. They have like millions upon billions of views even. And then you look at some videos that look absolutely amazing to this day. They'll have like 100, maybe 1,000 views. Even if it's a big channel, like, that's... Just because something doesn't look great quality-wise, doesn't mean... And that in itself is not quality. Because, again, quality is subjective, so... Something that looks absolutely beautiful, like if I was to record from, like, a screen using like a capture card, while yes, that is extremely high quality, that may not garner any views. If that may not garner as many views as I would like, but if something was like recorded from like given the fucking flip phone that doesn't look great, that could also gain like a lot of views. So at the end of the day, it just really comes to what people like to watch, however, and depending on all the equipment the person making the videos has. So it's like, it's all subjective at the end of the day. But I enjoy it, you enjoy it, that's what matters. So if you're new here and you've been curious to why my videos aren't as high quality, that's why. Also, looking back, I'm also glad I'm recording the way I've been recording the way I have been the past almost 10 years. It's really nice. And hey, you all enjoy it. That's good. That's good enough for me. Isn't that right, bud? Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a little brat, though. Boy. You're a brat. How's it going, little buddy? He's just so cute. You're a good boy, buddy. But yeah, he is in the video. Whenever I record from like a console or something, he's right there. He is right on he's usually either on the bed or on my lap or right next to me. He's somewhere close whenever he records, so... Yeah, he's part of the videos too. And people really seem to like him. So, which is also good. I love my little guy. Don't I, buddy? He is boy. Aren't you, Atreus? Yeah, I named him Atreus. After Atreus from God of War. Boy. He is boy. Not only am I thankful for all of you, he's also thankful for all of you. Isn't that right, bud? Because it's not just my channel, it's also his channel. So yeah, while, yes, I do go through a lot of hard work, a lot of hardships, do get harassed from time to time, I'm still enjoying what I do. I'm enjoying my life, and that's all we could ever do. That's all I could ever want for this channel, and all of you as well. Just enjoy life. Even though you may go through hardships, it helps you get better, grow stronger, and enjoy things much more. Which, honestly, we can never have enough of. Can never have enough enjoyment in our lives. Especially if we had a rough upbringing. But that's what shapes us into who we are today. But yeah, that's honestly all I really have to say. And if you're new here, feel free to watch. Feel free to comment whatever. Watch whatever, as long as it's respectful and within terms of service, of course. But yeah, thank you for hearing me ramble on for however long I have been. I hope you continue enjoying the videos, and yeah, honestly, just thanks for watching and sticking around with all my nonsense. It really means a lot to me. It really does.